Hey everyone, and welcome back to Shark Week. Today we're talking about puppets. Don't know what that was. Anyway, before we get to our main topic, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the art of children's programming. When I say children's programming, I don't mean this or this. I'm talking about shows like Sesame Street, Arthur, Caillou, Mr. Rogers, and plenty of others I can't name at the moment. Shows like these are designed to teach kids lessons that they frankly need to hear as soon as possible, while also creating friendly and memorable characters to keep them engaged. If pulled off correctly, these shows can leave a positive impact on a whole generation of kids, giving them reasons why they should treat others with kindness, and giving them a drive to try something new. I feel that the art of creating these shows is pretty underappreciated, as trying to entertain a bunch of pissing and vomiting toddlers while also teaching them can be quite hard. But when the balance is just right, they could have something truly special in their hands. And then, there's this.
Hi, boys and girls. Today on Peppermint Park, we're going to show you something really special.
Oh, look at that one. That one's really nice. Yeah, that's great. Watch this. Oh.
Hi gang, it's me, Ernie. Today on Peppermint Park, we're introducing the letter L. It's such a great letter. Just think of all the words starts with L.
Today, we're talking about Peppermint Park.
Good friends.
Peppermint Park was a straight-to-VHS puppet show from the late 1980s that lasted only 6 episodes. The series was distributed by Mark V International and Televitics Productions, who are both widely known for not having Wikipedia pages. In fact, there isn't much known about this series. Even though the show itself has its own Wikipedia page, it's still extremely bare and has very little information about it. This all seems a bit suspicious. It's probably nothing. This obvious Sesame Street ripoff featured these puppets, as well as a bunch of random segments that have no rhyme or reason to them whatsoever. You never know if you're going to get random counting, horribly written songs, actual humans, or premium grade nightmare fuel. The show has gained a little bit of cult status in recent years, and by that I mean, the show has gained cult status for how fucking creepy it is. But the show seemed to end after the 6th volume was released around 1988, leaving the show in ruins. So since there isn't much known about this show, I decided to take a deep dive and see what the series has to offer. I really hope I don't regret this. Also, side note, huge shout out to Icy Roserade for not only tracking down each of the 6 tapes, but also converting them into digital files and uploading them to YouTube. All of that sounds like hell, so major shout out to you for doing that. Anyway, let's begin our tour of Peppermint Park with Volume 1, Magic Moments. After starting with a theme song that is way too catchy, we enter the show's central area, the clubhouse. Looks safe to me. We're introduced to our first 2 characters, Littlebit and Piggle, and you can immediately tell why the show only lasted 6 episodes. These puppet designs are genuinely horrible. One looks like one of those creepy children's dolls if it came to life, and the other looks and sounds like a ripoff of both Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy. Most likely because he is.
You won't be needing these right here.
Piggle, wait a minute.
God, I already hate that pig. Hopefully these puppets don't creep you out too much, because we're going to be seeing them a lot more. We then move on to one of the first recurring segments on the show, the animal songs. And none of them are good. The first of these is this polar bear song, and I think even children can tell how lazily it's written. The vocalist has the laziest sound to him, and the song itself has some pretty questionable lyrics.
Where I come from, you'd freeze your little toes off. Where you come from, I'd love to take my clothes off.
Okay. Later on, there's also a song about ducks, and even though it's not as terrible, the singer seems to be using the worst Squidward impression possible.
There's nothing else that I would rather be. I like to swim around with my friends all day.
We later move on to a much better written, yet more frightening song about the color red.
And red would be perfection for a great big ball of yarn. you must admit, you know it's true that red goes best with
The singing is thankfully a lot better. In fact, it's actually decently impressive. But there's something off about this. Something about that string puppet. I know that string puppetry is a lot more complicated than your typical sock puppet, but the puppet itself is just kind of off-putting. It just looks lifeless at points, and the video has a found footage feel to it. The entire show has this too, obviously, but the dark setting only amplifies it. Well, hopefully we won't see anything this unsettling again in this episode. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, it's this bloke again.
Oh, hi. You know, we were talking about the color red earlier.
You just talked about the color red, you stupid swine.
It's a stoplight, and it has the color red on it. You see, it's right here.
Oh, hi, Piggle. What are you doing there?
Oh, hi, Wiley.
Great, now he's copying Fozzie Bear.
Exactly where did you get it from?
Well, from that big pole on the corner, just outside. Why?
Piggle, that light was very important on that pole.
Uh-oh.
Well, that gives me another reason to hate Pickle. He's a shameless ripoff of now 3 beloved characters, he's stolen civil property, and now he's committed manslaughter. Pickle is going to jail. Oh great. Another one. Admittedly, this segment isn't as bad as the last String Puppet one. Sure, it does have a couple of creepy moments, but it's a lot more lighthearted. It's also easily the most talent shown on the show so far. Unless you got the magician that I skipped over earlier. We're then introduced to the Story Lady, one of the few human characters in the show. She reads the story each time she comes through, and this time around, the story is about a king who gets scammed into buying invisible clothing, leading to him committing an act of public indecency.
From that day on, he never spent his money on silly clothes. He only bought pants and shirts that he needed.
I guess that message didn't get across to enough people.
And that's the story of King Jonathan and his new robe.
Oh. What the hell? Oh god, no. Why? No, 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 stop it, stop it! What the hell did I just watch? How did the creators of the show look at this and say, hey, children will love this. They totally won't shit the bed because of how off-putting this mime is. Good lord. Let's just go on to the next segment. Never again.
Here's the letter I. I is the first letter in ice cream.
I is also the first letter of. I can't believe I'm subjecting myself to this.
1, 0.
Oh yeah. We also get random counting quite often on this show. You never know if it'll count to 8, 10, or even 7. But one thing we will know is that it comes out of nowhere, and there's never any reason for it.
Oh! Look at that one. That one's really nice.
And we end with these 2 characters blowing bubbles. And by blowing bubbles, I mean acting like they're blowing bubbles while a most likely underpaid stagehand lays down behind them and blows bubbles for them.
Or maybe your friends can come over to
Typical.
play. There's only one thing wrong with playing with bubbles. Yeah? What's that? They don't last very long.
And just like that, Volume 1 is over. That was worse than I thought it would be. Okay. I shouldn't be too harsh, though. Everyone's first of something is never going to be perfect, so maybe the show will improve later on. So let's see if it does improve in Volume 2, The Story Lady. Named after a character who debuted in the first volume, this is already off to a bad start. We once again start at the clubhouse, and are immediately greeted by a familiar figure.
Oh, hi. I was just reading this book about Mary and her little lamb. Remember that one?
Oh. They changed his voice. I guess the Jim Henson Company realized they were getting ripped off and took quick action. His voice is way worse, though. It was obviously just pitched up at the last second.
She must be worried sick. Oh, no.
Pickle, what's the matter with you? Calm down.
Well, Mary's lamb is lost. Don't just stand there. Do something. We've got to find Mary's little lamb. I'll be right back.
Was it something I said?
Well, that's going to be my nightmares for the next couple of weeks. Let's just move on. We may as well get the animal songs out of the way again. This first one is about elephants, which is in pretty much the same boat as the polar bear song, but with a little more character.
I have a hose for a nose and I got peanuts in my toes. Guess what I am?
The second one is easily the worst so far. It's about monkeys, and the singer sounds like Toad having a heart attack.
Monkeys see, monkeys do, monkeying around.
Today on Peppermint Park, we're talking about blue. It can be a color, like this. Or it can just be a sad feeling. Like Maynard. He's feeling blue.
I think we have a new winner for the worst designed puppet in this show. Maynard looks like a combination of Voldemort and the sand puppet from the original Muppet Show, if his face was made from a skinned fist. He sings a song about how blue he is, before walking back into the darkness from which he came. I, for one, hope he stays there.
Once again, boys and girls, it's time for Magic Megan.
Once again. This is the first time this character has appeared.
Hi, boys and girls. Have I got a trick for you today? Your friends are going to think you're magic. Take a piece of paper and tell your friend, stand this piece of paper up. The piece of paper and fold it. And look, it stands up.
So her magic trick is to fold a piece of paper. Hey, look, kids. Magic. Well, at least she showed some enthusiasm.
Hi, boys and girls. Today on Peppermint Park, we're going to show you something really special. We're going to show you how to make your very own clay.
And just look at all the neat things you can make with homemade clay. Now here's the recipe. Remember to get Mom to help you with this. Everything you need can be found right at your house.
And you're all ready to have some fun.
Gee, this is great. I can make lots of things with my homemade clay.
I'm doing this. So, we need 1 cup of salt, 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of water, and 1/4 cup of this. That's 1 cup? We are not making that much. Oh my god. It's still a lot. Let's just do a 1/2 cup for... Yeah, there's no way we really need that much. I want to start by saying that I've never used flour before for anything in my life, so this is a first for myself. We need a full cup of this. Looks like about a cup, yeah. Works. God, this is gonna make a lot. Oh my god. So we needed 1 cup, so we need 1/2. This is a lot of salt. It just feels so bad wasting this much salt. Oh my god. For the content. Oh god. I need a larger bowl. I need a much larger bowl. I should probably do this one in the sink. Alright, and now we just need a 1/4. It was originally 1/4 cup, so I guess 1/2 of that. Alright, and that's all the ingredients. Let's see if this actually works. I guess we just mix it. I mean, it's getting thicker. Also, I'm not adding food coloring to this because this would just be an even bigger mess. Should I add more salt or something? Because this does not seem right. This is not getting any thicker.
Here's all you do. Just take the flour, salt, and water and mix it all together with the oil to make the clay. And you're all ready to have some fun.
It's not working. It's not working. I did exactly what the show said to do. Maybe we can just let it dry? I don't know. Alright. For now, I'm just going to chalk this up to a failure. I don't know if it's supposed to dry or something. The show said nothing. So, I guess I'll just let it dry for a little bit longer, then come back to it later. Alright, it's been about a half hour since I left this to sit, so, yeah, it's the same. Wow. That was a waste of time. This was a complete failure. Just like Peppermint Park. The story lady comes back for the episode named after her, and this time it's about a frog who's tired of being a frog, but eventually learns to be proud of who he is. There really isn't much else to say here. These segments are fine for what they are and are pretty easy to get through. Stump the Star is the next segment. What do you know? Another ripoff. And it features the debut of worldwide phenomenon, Snorky. At least according to the speaker.
We're happy to have one of the park's most famous stars, Snorky.
Snorky is asked a pretty simple question.
Carol wants to know, what's the 7th letter in the alphabet?
I got it. Is it a Q?
Oh, brother.
Well, if appearing on Peppermint Park wouldn't be enough to tank his career, his answers to the question certainly will. We then have one more segment featuring a water park, before bringing this episode to a close. Alright, that episode wasn't nearly as horrifying as the first one. It was a lot more boring, though. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I found a lot more entertainment in the first episode. And I hate to say this too, but I kind of prefer it. I mean, we got to see Piggle commit a federal crime. Anyway, we've still got quite a bit to get through, so let's go ahead and begin Volume 3, Musicland. The episode begins with Snorky. I guess the last episode really damaged his career, and this show is all he was able to get. As much as I've trashed the puppets on this show, these ones aren't too bad. They aren't as approachable as your typical Muppet, but at least they have some creative charm to them, and aren't in the deepest parts of the uncanny valley. What I will trash, though, is how this other character's voice is the same as Snorky's, just pitched down.
But don't worry, we'll have plenty of time to watch our whole show today, and we've got some wonderful things to watch, too.
I sure hope so.
This is the letter M. M is the first letter in the word mayonnaise.
Really? The first word you think of for M is mayonnaise? What about monster or monkey?
Monkey around!
The first of the animal songs is about rhinos, and this is getting repetitive. It's lazily written, it's not clever, they just add an O to the end of each line to make it rhyme, your typical stuff.
I know his sense of smell is twice as much as mine.
The clearly dubbed over story lady comes back.
Our story today is called Trevor's First Day at School.
And has a story about a kid's first day at school. There's no lesson or anything. It's pretty much just a series of events.
I think maybe I'll like this school, he thought.
Boy, this kid sure looks entertained.
Hi, gang. It's me, Ernie. It's such a great letter. Just think of all the words that start with M.
And here we have one of the most famous moments from this show. Can you guess why?
It's marvelous, magnificent. I can't imagine life without the letter M.
This just has horror movie written all over it. The moving eyes, the singing, the found footage feel. To think. The creators of the show wanted to make something entertaining and cute for kids, but instead, they made this. That mime was still scarier, though.
Hi, boys and girls. Oh boy, today I'm going to show you how to send secret messages to your friends.
God, there's so much echo during this segment. Did they film this in an abandoned building or something? Probably.
Then, take your rubber band and the ruler and stretch the rubber band across the ruler.
I think a more fitting title for this trick is How to Break a Ruler.
Look, you can't see the message anymore. That's why it's the secret message. Then when you stretch the rubber band out, it spells the word peppermint again.
This trick is a lot better than folding a piece of paper, though.
I know. How about a puzzle?
We just put a puzzle together this morning. Hey, I got it. We'll invent a game.
Yeah, a game.
Let's see. First, we'll need a place to play.
They really had nothing else for this episode, did they?
Or a field.
Dirty.
The show in a nutshell.
Who's been walking on my floor with dirty feet? How did it get so dirty? Well, I guess I'll just have to mop it up.
Oh. I guess they can afford animation now.
Oh, somebody's at the door. Look at that. They got my clean floor all dirty again.
The Invisible Man just ran through your house. And all you're concerned about is the dirty floor?
I like things clean.
Volume 3 ends off with a song about big horned sheep. I'm serious. That's what they call them.
I'm a big horned sheep, that's what I'm. I stand around all day wasting time.
Why don't you just call them goats? That's what they are. Alright, with the end of that, we're finally halfway through. God. This is taking way too long, and I'm really starting to get creeped out, so I better start rushing through this. What's going on?
What the?
Greetings, creator. @muted7017.
What the? Who the hell are you?
I'm a YouTube representative on behalf of our director, CEO Neil Mohan, and I have come to deliver you this letter.
Wait, what letter? How are you even supposed to deliver a letter to me through a vid? Oh. Dear creator, due to you violating our new short video only policy, we regretfully inform you that you've received a strike on your video on YouTube. Receiving strikes, demonetization, channel termination, sentence in the void. Please don't upload videos that are too long for the average 9-year-old. P.S. Your video will end in the next 45 seconds. Wait, what?
So sorry about this. Not really. Oh, you have violated one of our new policies that we haven't really announced to our creators yet.
You mean I have to edit 2 of these videos with all these stupid puppets in them?
Yes, at least though, we haven't sent you to Detroit yet.
This is ridiculous. I haven't even gone to sleep since I started watching these, and I'm already having nightmares.
I apologize, no. Thank you though for understanding, and have a nice day.
No!
Good friends, gonna get together with good friends. Everything is better with friends like you. There's so much to do in Peppermint Park.